Hey everyone, I'm live here with Sara Stucky. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And the first question I always ask people is tell us what you do and how you help people.
All right. Well, I am Sara Stucky, obviously. I actually help people by finding different ways to save on insurance coverage. I specialize in Medicare. I actually help folks find the right plan, make sure that they're on the right plan, especially based off of their situation. Because like everyone knows, Medicare is crazy. It's overwhelming. And so having somebody to kind of help guide them, give them the right tools, the right resources, helps them a little bit better going into that chapter.
Yeah, that's so important. I know that with Medicare, there's a lot of misconceptions too.
Yes.
So it's great to have a guide as you're going through that.
Yes, exactly. And, Medicare is not the way that it used to be many years ago. And so just having someone that can answer questions, I feel like is a huge asset, especially when it comes to Medicare.
Absolutely. Well, so you weren't always in insurance, I'm guessing. So
no.
What's a little bit about your background and why you chose to work really for yourself?
So I actually have only been in the insurance industry for since 2015.
Okay.
I was doing all sorts of things. I actually went to college for hotel management.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
that is a difference.
That is a huge difference. But I quickly realized, like, if I wanted to have a family, that I needed to find something a little bit more flexible and taking care of kids. And I actually decided to go independent about 3 years ago, and I'm so glad I did. I can't do the things that I'm doing now if I was in a hotel industry. So, but I love helping people. I love talking to people. So just getting myself out there and finding new people to talk to, and it's just, I enjoy it. So
always meeting new people and hearing, I'm sure you hear some great stories because I mean, with the Medicare, it's typically elderly clients. And so they have a whole life.
Oh yeah. And then it's crazy. You start meeting these people and you start to know their stories and you get to talk to them year after year. And I have folks that will send me home with cookies for my kids. And so sweet. I love what I do.
You got all the substitute grandparents.
Pretty much. And they're like, well, how are the kids? Or wish them a happy birthday, so it's fun. I love what I do. Absolutely.
Well, you dug into it a little bit, but can you go deeper into really that passion driving you for what you do?
Yeah, I quickly realized when I first started insurance that there was more out there than just certain products and stuff like that. A little bit further into my career, I started realizing that there was a need for Medicare. Especially the older folks. They didn't know what was out there. They didn't know what to expect. And so that's kind of what helped me get into the actual Medicare portion of it, is knowing that these folks need someone that they can rely on, that they can talk to, that they can, pick up the phone and say, hey, Sarah, what do I do about this? But more importantly, it's like this generation has helped us grow up in the world. It's like time for us to kind of give back to them a little bit. So I really enjoy the older generation because they can sit and they can talk and hear about the stories. And but yeah, it's just trying to make sure that they're taken care of is really what drives me. That's kind of my passion.
Yeah, especially I would think in the digital world that we're living in, that's a challenge for a lot of people.
That is exactly it. And I feel like being someone local that they can sit face to face with
not
is
over the
huge.
phone,
Exactly. Still, to this day, everyone's like, I just don't know about those phone calls. And I was like, that's why I'm real. Like I talk, I walk, and I am just like you.
And people do a scam, they'll call elderly and say that they are going to help with something. And then,
And too often I get those phone calls of, well, I called into the online that I saw on TV. And I'm like, my heart just breaks. And so we have to fix it. And then they're like, I'm so glad. Why didn't I find you sooner? Well, that's what I'm here to do, is figure out how I can get my name out there. So these people, there are less of those.
They have the contact even before they need it.
Correct. Exactly.
That's important. Well, what have been some of the challenges and struggles that you faced along the journey?
Oh gosh, I think honestly one of the biggest struggles is just getting the information out there. We advertise, I do seminars, strictly educational seminars, but it's just getting my name out there and letting them know that there's someone here that is truly here to help. And so that's probably been one of the biggest struggles, is trying to get in front of people, trying to get them the information and know there's someone out there that's here to do the right thing.
I think you're not alone. That's the number one I hear from every industry is, getting the name out there, right?
Yeah.
Getting the information out there to people. So what really separates you? Because there are other insurance providers who do focus on even Medicare. So what differentiates you?
I feel like I am an independent broker, so I'm able to represent several different Medicare carriers. I don't sit there and say, hey, this is what you need, when it's really not what they need. I feel
their situation.
Exactly, because everyone's situation is different. Everything from their doctors to their specialists to their prescriptions, it's all different. And so I really take the time and I get to know the person. And then I'm like, okay, this is a suggestion. Whatever you want me to do, I'm going to do, because that's what you need. They know their situation better than I do. And so I'm just here to give them the resources, the tools that they need, but more importantly, to save them money throughout the year. And I'm not one of those that come in and we do everything we need to do, and then I'm gone. Like, they hear from me every single year when it comes to annual enrollment. They know that they can pick up that phone and they can call and go from there. So, and I'm local. So.
And even if somebody's already started Medicare with some other company, like they can still come talk to you and see if their plan is the right fit. And
I actually encourage, even if you've been on Medicare, you're new to Medicare, not sure what's happening, I really encourage every single year doing what I call a Medicare diagnostic check. Because things change, plans change, doctors change, prescriptions change. So I really encourage them to do one of those checks. And I'm here to help, even if we've never met before. Hey, I'm here. Here's my number. Call me if you need me. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, you are a mom and, a busy entrepreneur and all of that. So what is that? We took away the word balance a while ago because we don't really believe that that's a real thing, but we think you can be in alignment. So like, what does that alignment look like for you?
I am a single mom. So it's tough. During the school year isn't as tough because I know where they're at for 8 hours. But I have found that I can even relate to some of these folks saying, hey, this is what my schedule looks like. I have, a schedule tonight. And they're like, oh yeah, whenever you don't have time with kids, like this generation is so understanding. And that helps too with, I can balance out. My kids understand like, hey, I have an appointment today. I have a seminar tonight. And it helps tremendously that everybody is on the same page, the same everything. They know what's happening. They know what to expect. And it's nice that I have a age group that is so understanding. And so that helps a lot too.
I love that. Well, you've been a Hive member for a while now, and you've held your seminars here. And so how do you feel like the Hive has helped you?
Honestly, the Hive gives me a place to bring some of these people. You get some of them that don't want to travel very far, and you are right smack dab in the middle of Wichita, which is wonderful. I have folks I've met here outside of seminars. I've had folks come here for seminars because you tell them where you're at and you're like, oh yeah, I know where that's at. Perfect. It's convenient for everybody. And I can come, I can take care of what I need to, visit with who I need to, and it isn't something I have to schedule around or be here all the time. Because like I said, single mom, I'm all over the place. And so it's nice to be able to know I have a place to come if I need to.
Well, and what you said about scheduling, that's one of the things that I really tried to set up as intuitive and easy as possible, because I hate having to schedule through someone, like having to pick up the phone and call someone and get on the schedule and do this back and forth whenever you're having an event somewhere.
Exactly.
So that you can just go in and
it's amazing. You've made that so easy, because there's times I'm like, okay, I can look at this and I can look at my schedule. I'm the only person that I have to make sure that things are where they need to be. And it's been wonderful. So thank you.
Well, thanks for having your seminars here.
Absolutely.
What insights might you share with somebody who is maybe starting in their journey, whether it's insurance or another, company or business?
Honestly, know your why, because that is going to be one of the biggest things that's going to get you through anything. My why, I actually have 2 whys. I have 2 little people at home, and they're what drive me to be successful. That drives me to talk to the next person or put on my next seminar, because without a why, you have no destination. So that would be my biggest thing, is have a why, set a goal, and just keep going.
And then when you do have that touchstone, you can go back to it. Like
Mhm.
it helps you set boundaries too,
Yeah.
because, oh, if my why is this, then does this fall within that?
Correct. Exactly. And, especially in the insurance portion of it is, it's not an easy industry, so having a why, remembering what it's, and if you kind of fall off, go back to the basics. What made you want to start this? That's the biggest thing, is trying to figure out, where am I at? Where am I going?
Yeah.
And how do I get there?
Keeping your head out of the minutia.
Yeah,
it can be every job, every business has its minutia that you can fall into. Well, how can the bees help you? When's your next seminar that we can tell people about?
Well, actually, this month I have scheduled them at libraries this week.
Yeah.
So next month I'm planning on having a couple libraries in here, because I did see a good uptick in attendance here at the Hive. So I'm hoping by next month, it's typically right around the second to third week of the month, that I try to have them.
Yeah.
Typically in the evenings, while some of my turning 65 individuals are still working, they can still attend. And then I also try to do some weekends, especially during the summer. Now the kids are out, and we can kind of figure out schedule a little bit better, but I try to have them during the weekends also, to make it a little bit more convenient for some of the folks that are still working.
Yeah. And where can they find that? Where do you post about them?
So typically I have been posting it on the chamber website of my events. So you can go on there, but I also send out postcards for folks turning 65. So that's another way too. So we'll probably start posting on my Facebook page, Sara, Stucky Insurance Services. So they can go on there too. And then that way they can see the schedule, see if there may be a day that works good for them to attend.
Perfect. Awesome. So tell your parents, grandparents, family, and friends. And thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Time today.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
If people do want to reach out to you directly, how's the best way?
So they can either do a couple different things. They can get a hold of me through, Facebook, which is Sara Stucky Insurance Services, or they can give me a call at 620-243-2354. And they can call me if they need to, text me, whatever is convenient for them.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.